Okay, a very good afternoon, students. So it seems yesterday's class I observed some voice is missing, right? So almost we discussed equations of motion for simple pendulum, right? Yesterday's class I observed somewhere voice is missing. So once again, don't worry, once again we will derive that. Okay, so let's see just why we are studying equations of motions, right? What is the purpose? Why we need equations of motions? To analyze the dynamics, right? To analyze dynamics. Dynamics is nothing but motion, right? For example, if this is my simple pendulum, this is my system. Okay, so this is at this equilibrium position. If you know equations of motions, okay, if you know equations of motion, you can analyze this simple pendulum, right? You can analyze this dynamic system. So if you are capable, I mean, you know, right, mathematics or basic engineering mathematics, if you are capable to analyze the equations of motions for the system, then definitely you can do for aircraft also. That's why we are studying this. So if it is coming to aircraft, so this is 6 degrees of freedom. I mean, if you assume aircraft is rigid body, so but here this is 1 degree of freedom only. If you analyze dynamics of this simple pendulum, so it is very easy. I mean, so mathematics, that basic funda is same. Okay, for aircraft or for simple pendulum. So that's why we are doing this. So yesterday already we derived some equations. So we are talking about the sigma f is equal to max, sigma fy is equal to may. So these are the two things, right? These are the two things, max, may. So this is ax, acceleration in x direction. We are fixing some coordinate system here. So x, y, right? So we are deriving equations of motions. So this is mg. So if you take this is theta, sigma fy, I'm writing equations of motions, or sigma fx. So sigma fy is equal to m into ay. What about external forces acting in y direction? So this is mg cos theta. So can I write like this? Mg cos theta minus, this is tension in this direction. So tension of this ring is equal to m into ay. From in your basic physics, ay is nothing but v square by r, right? Just once again I am repeating this. Okay, you can check this detailed analysis. You can check this thing in the previous class also. See, what about sigma fx is equal to 0? Fx towards x direction. So mg cos theta in this direction, so mg sin theta, like this, right? Mg. So this is my mg. So what about mg sin theta in this direction? So you can take like this, mg sin theta. So minus mg sin theta. Already yesterday we discussed, we are assuming some damping coefficient C. So this is damping coefficient. Okay, damping coefficient, right? So that force, opposing force. So this damping force always proportional to velocity of the system, right? So that is nothing but damping force always proportional to velocity of the system. So that is nothing but theta dot here. So F is equal to C into theta dot. So F is nothing but in this direction, damping force C dot. So you can write minus mg sin theta minus C theta dot is equal to, what about this, m into Ax, m into Ax, right? Yes. Yesterday we discussed up to here. We are getting two equations, right? So if you observe, you are giving small disturbance like this, some delta f, you are applying some small disturbance, you are getting some disturbance angle, some theta, okay. After some time t, physically you can say, oh, if you give some down disturbance, so it will oscillate to and fro oscillations, finally it will comes to original position. These things, yes, we know that, but what is our agenda? We have to prove this thing by mathematics, right? We have to prove this thing by using our engineering mathematics knowledge. This is our agenda, right? So for that thing we need equations of motions. So we have two equations of motions here. Which equation we need to analyze the disturbance? Which equation? You want to see theta, how it will be? So that theta is towards x direction, right? That theta is towards x direction. Y direction, simply you can say tension, relation between tension and centripetal force. But the disturbance especially acting towards x direction. So that's why you are taking this equation, minus mg sin theta minus c theta dot mx, right? So, right, I am analyzing this system, I am analyzing this dynamic system by using this second equation. If you solve the second equation, if you solve this equation, then you will find the response of the system. How much time it will take to come to initial equilibrium condition, right? So I am taking this equation. Yes, are you following? So here we have minus mg sin theta minus c theta dot is equal to m ax, right? Somewhere ax, so you can change that ax is nothing but dvx by dt. If you see, this is circular motion, you can take this is like circular motion. Here you have some velocity va, okay. So in circular motions, v is nothing but your r omega, you can write like that, right? So d by dt r omega, I am taking this r, this length, arc length as L, right? So omega is nothing but angular velocity, that omega is nothing but d theta by dt. Are you with me, everyone? So you can write this thing L into, already we have d by dt, again omega is nothing but theta dot. Are you understanding? So you can write L into theta double dot. Is it clear? So m into ax, ax is nothing but, you are getting ax is nothing but L into theta double dot. This double dot is nothing but d square theta by dt square, second order differentiation. So is it clear up to here? Finally you can write equation, this equation as m theta double dot L, right? So if you solve this equation, you can analyze the motion of simple pendulum, right, in x direction. You can analyze the motion of simple pendulum. So that thing, right, we need that thing only. So here we have second order differential equation minus mg sin theta minus theta dot, so m theta double dot L. So this is second order differential equation. If you solve this second order differential equation, you can analyze the motion of simple pendulum. Like for our aircraft also, right? If you take any aircraft, so at that equivalent point there is some set of equations. If you solve that set of equations, so definitely you can comment on the motion of aircraft. Are you getting? Both are similar. Just think about it. Both are similar. How you are deriving equations of motions here, same you will derive equations of motions for aircraft also. Yes? Is it clear? Now we want to solve this second order differential equation. How you will solve this second order differential equation? Yes? See here. So can I interchange with this? Theta double dot. If you multiply, if you divide both sides with ml, what will happen? Minus g by L sin theta. What about here? Minus c by ml theta dot. You are getting this equation, right? Theta double dot is equal to minus g by L sin theta minus c by ml theta dot. So how you will solve this second order differential equation? How you will solve this second order differential equation? If you know control systems, in your control systems course, you will find, yes, you will apply Laplace transforms. Finally, you will bring into transfer function. You will bring the transfer function. From the transfer function, okay, you will take characteristic equation. So that is one method, classical control method. So here I am using one more method, that is called state space representation. I am using state space representation. So this is very good method. I mean, generally if you see some GATE previous questions, there are some questions based on this state space representation. That's why I am going with this method. So let's see what you will do in this state space representation method. What you will do? You have second order differential equation. So I will solve this second order differential equation by splitting two first order differential equations. Okay, how you will solve this equation? You will split this second order differential equation into two first order differential equations. For that, I am assuming two states. I am assuming two state variables, theta 1, theta 2. Right? What is those? I am assuming two state variables, those are called theta 1 and theta 2. Theta 1 and theta 2. What about theta 1? I am using as theta 1 is theta and theta 2 as theta dot. Right? So theta dot. Theta 1 is nothing but theta, theta 2 is nothing but theta dot. Theta position, theta dot, okay, velocity, that is nothing but theta 2. If we have more state variables, then you can define the system more accurately, right? Are you with me? For example, if this is my aircraft, if you want to define this aircraft in 3D space, if I am giving only velocity of the aircraft, if I give like velocity of the aircraft v, so ui vj plus wk cap. So this fellow have velocity vector. Is this sufficient to define the aircraft in 3D space? With the same velocity it will go in steady, it will go in inverted flight also, right? With same velocity. So you cannot define the aircraft in 3D space with only velocity vector. If it is possible, you can give attitude, like what about pi, what about theta, what about psi of the aircraft. If you give these parameters, at the time you can define the aircraft in 3D space, right? So like that, I am taking two state variables, theta 1, theta 2. Theta 1 is nothing but theta, same theta here. Theta 2 is nothing but velocity. For example, let's see. First we'll solve this. Substitute this theta 1, theta 2 in this equation. Like what will happen? Like theta double dot. So that is a theta 2 dot is nothing but theta double dot, right? I am assuming these two things. From this you can say theta 2 dot is nothing but theta double dot. So theta 2 dot is equal to minus g by L sine. What about theta? Theta 1 minus c by ml. What about theta dot? Theta dot is nothing but theta 2, right? Theta 2. Theta 2 dot you have. What about theta 1 dot? Theta 1 dot is nothing but theta 1 dot. If you derive this, you will get theta dot. Theta dot is nothing but your theta 2. Simply you can replace theta 1 dot is nothing but theta 2. Are you getting, everyone? Are you following what I am doing here? I am splitting this second order differential equation into two first order differential equation, right? If you solve these two first order differential equations, if you solve these two first order differential equations, the good thing is, if you solve this second order differential equation, you will get theta versus time, how theta will vary. But if you solve this two first order differential equations, you will get theta 1 with respect to time, how it is varying, and same time theta 2 with respect to time, right? Your theta 1 is nothing but theta, same what you are getting here by solving the second order differential equation. That thing you will achieve, no doubt. That thing. One more advantage is you will find theta 2, that is nothing but theta dot. Velocity also, how velocity is moving with respect to time, how velocity is varying with respect to time. Definitely you will find position theta with respect to time, that is sure. Okay, in the same manner, in this process you will find what about velocity theta 2, that is nothing but theta dot, how it is varying with respect to time. This thing also you can know. So that's why this theta 1 and theta 2, these are called as state variables. What are these? State variables. If you have more state variables, you can define the system more accurately, right? Like our aircraft, if your aircraft if you given only velocity of the aircraft, you cannot define. If you know velocity means it can move steady like this or inverted also. So if they given pi, theta, psi values, at the time we can clearly mention the position of the aircraft. Is it clear? That's why we need state variables, theta 1 and theta 2. Now we want to solve this equations, right? So let's see here. So I am assuming some theta 1, theta 2. Theta 1, theta 2. Just think about it. Finally, this fellow will comes to equilibrium condition, no doubt. At this equilibrium condition, finally, right? Finally, simple pendulum will come equilibrium condition, right here. At this equilibrium condition, theta is 0, right? There is no oscillations at all. And what about theta dot? Velocity is also 0. There is no velocity. The same manner, theta double dot, acceleration is also 0. Are you sure? That right? theta is 0, theta dot is 0, theta double dot also 0. Now just can you tell me what about if theta is 0, then what about state variable theta 1 is equal to 0, right? What about theta dot is 0? Theta dot is 0 means what about theta dot? That is nothing but yes, theta dot I am assuming as theta 1 is theta and theta 2 is theta dot, right? Right? So theta dot is nothing but your theta 2 is equal to 0. What about theta double dot? You can say theta 2 dot, right? You can write like this. Already we replaced this, right? Theta double dot is nothing but theta 2 dot. Okay? Are you understanding? So theta 2 is 0, or you can say theta is 0. Theta is nothing but theta 1. Theta dot is nothing but theta 1 dot. Theta 1 dot. Theta 1 dot or theta 2, both are same. So from this thing you can say this rate of change of state variables theta 1 dot and theta 2 dot, these are 0 at equilibrium condition. Can I say like that? Just think about it. At equilibrium condition theta 1 dot and theta 2 dot is 0. Yes? Are you getting? Like this. Your theta 1 dot is nothing but theta dot, velocity is 0 in simple pendulum, it is in equilibrium condition. Theta 2 dot is nothing but your theta double dot, but acceleration is 0. Yes, you can take like this. If you substitute these values in this equation, what will happen? Just I am erasing this part. Let's see. If you substitute this theta 1 dot is equal to 0, for equilibrium condition theta 1 dot is 0 and theta 2 dot is 0, you are taking this for equilibrium condition, what will happen? Theta 1 dot, that is nothing but theta 2, it will become 0, right? From equation 2, this is equation 1, this is equation 2, substitute these values in equation 2, you will get theta 1 dot is equal to 0, nothing but theta 2 is 0. If you substitute these values in equation 1, you will get 0 is equal to minus g by L sin theta 1 minus c by ml 0. So this thing will become 0. Here already it is 0. So we will get sin theta 1 is equal to 0. Right? For equilibrium, the condition is rate of change of state variables are 0. This is the condition. For equilibrium, rate of change of state variables is 0. If you apply that logic, you are getting equilibrium condition as theta 1 is equal to 0 or and, okay. Theta 1 0 and 180 degrees. You are getting 2 equilibrium points, I think pi, okay. You are getting 2 equilibrium points. Yes, mathematics. So that is the beauty of mathematics. Physically, you can say that this is in equilibrium at theta is equal to 0. Okay. What about? But here you are getting 180 degrees also. So in place of string thread, if you use some metal bar, what will happen? Can I erase this part? Just I am erasing this. So you use some metallic bar at theta is equal to 0, theta 1 is nothing but theta. This is one equilibrium point, and one more equilibrium point is like this, right? One more equilibrium point is like this. Mathematically, you can prove this. Theta is 0 and 180. These are the two equilibrium points. These are the two equilibrium points for this system. This dynamic system is nothing but simple pendulum. So for simple pendulum, you are getting two equilibrium points. One is at 0 degrees, one is at 180 degrees, right? One is at 0 degrees and another one is at 180 degrees. Now, tell me, what is the difference? What is the difference between these two equilibrium points? Both are equilibrium points, no doubt. Rate of change of state variables is 0, or net forces and moments acting on this at that particular point is 0. Equilibrium point definition. But what is the difference? What will happen if you apply small force delta F here, and you apply delta F here? What will happen? Here, this fellow will oscillate like to and fro motion, like, right? This fellow will oscillate and finally comes to original equilibrium position, same position. But what will happen to here? It will move away from the equilibrium position, right? Definitely. In inverted case, at this equilibrium position, this fellow will move away from the equilibrium position. So, can I say this equilibrium state, this equilibrium point at theta is equal to 0, this is stable equilibrium point. Stable equilibrium point. Coming to this point at theta is equal to 180 degrees, this point is unstable equilibrium point. For simple pendulum, we have two equilibrium points. One is at theta is equal to 0 degrees, another one is at theta equal to 180 degrees. At theta is equal to 0 degrees, that is called as stable equilibrium points, and theta is equal to 180 degrees, that is called as unstable equilibrium point. Yes, if I say simple pendulum is stable system or unstable system? Yes, is there any meaning? There is no meaning, right? Because stability is the phenomena of equilibrium point. For this dynamic system, for this simple pendulum, two equilibrium points are there. One is 0 degrees, one is at 180 degrees. I am saying at 0 degrees, this is stable. At 180 degrees, this simple pendulum is unstable. So you cannot say like the simple pendulum is stable. No, stability is the property of equilibrium points. Okay, so generally if you see when you are discussing stability of the, static stability of the aircraft, then we will say like fighter aircrafts are unstable. The exact thing is fighter aircrafts have equilibrium points, like how you are finding equilibrium points. Fighter aircrafts have equilibrium points. Major equilibrium points are unstable. Are you getting what I am saying? The major equilibrium points of fighter aircraft is unstable. Like don't say fighter aircrafts are unstable, right? So stability is the property of equilibrium points, right? They getting? So if you understand this, very very important point. Here at 180 degrees, this equilibrium point is unstable. Like that, fighter aircrafts also have some equilibrium points are stable, some equilibrium points are unstable. But majority of for majority of equilibrium points are unstable for fighter aircrafts. Is it clear? So the statement fighter aircrafts are unstable, that statement is somehow it is not good. Don't use that statement, okay? Yes? Is it clear, everyone? Okay, let's see. We are here. So we have this equation. We splitted that second order differential equation into two first order differential equations. Like, what about those two first order differential equations? Theta 1 dot is equal to theta 2 and theta 1 double dot is equal to theta 2 and theta 2 double dot is equal to minus g by L sin theta 1 minus c by ml theta 2, right? So splitted this. Theta 1 double dot is equal to theta 2 and theta 2 double dot is equal to like this. How can you solve these two equations? How can you solve these two equations? So let's see. These are like non-linear, right? Sin is there. So this is non-linear. Simply at small angle of attack, like at small degrees. Sin theta is nothing but theta. You can write like that, right? So can you write like this? Sin theta 1 is nothing but theta 1. Yes, I am doing linearization. Okay, doing linearization. So can you put this thing in matrix notation? Theta 1. Sorry, why you are getting? Just check it. We are double dot. We are dot only, right? We are converting that second order differential equation into two first order differential equations. So you will get theta 1 dot, theta 2 dot. Okay, theta 1 dot, theta 2 dot is equal to 0, 1 minus g by L minus c by ml theta 1, theta 2. Right? If you observe here, you are getting 2 by 2 system matrix, right? You are getting 2 by 2 system matrix. So how can you solve this system matrix? So you are getting, I am erasing this, theta 1 dot, theta 2 dot is equal to 0, 1 minus g by L minus c by ml into theta 1, theta 2, right? Is it clear? So if you observe this, it is in the form of theta dot is equal to, so some A matrix into theta. So this A matrix order is 2 by 2. Just think about it. This is 2 by 2 matrix. Now you have to solve this matrix. You have to solve this first order differential equations. Now just forget about that. Just take it. Theta dot is function of, in place of second order, just take it as first order. A into theta. Right? A into theta. So what will happen here? Your theta dot, yes, A is theta. So initial conditions, right? We need initial conditions to solve this numerical. So at t is equal to 0, I am assuming theta is theta dot, right? So if you solve this equation, you will get like theta t is theta naught into e power at. You will get right the solution. Just use your engineering mathematics, just try to solve this. Probably you will get this equation. That means theta with respect to time. At t is equal to 0, at time t is 0. At time t is 0. What about disturbance? That is theta dot. Right? After time t, how it will respond? That depends on especially this constant, right? How it will respond? That depends on this constant A. Are you getting what I am saying? For first order differential equation, you have equation is like this: theta dot is equal to A into theta. Okay, theta dot is equal to A into theta. If you solve this equation by using initial condition at t is equal to 0, theta is theta naught, definitely you will get this. Theta t is equal to theta naught into e power at. Okay, you will get this. Theta is equal to, theta of t is equal to theta naught into e power at. So the response at t is equal to 0, this is theta naught. From here, how it will respond, that is depends on constant A, right? That constant A. Are you getting? If this constant A, if it is less than 0, you will get e power minus at. So it will converge, right? Nothing but subsidence. If it is e power at, exponentially it will increase, that is e power at, right? If it A is 0, it will be neutral with respect to time. This theta naught, it will maintain constant amplitude. Are you understanding? Yes? Is it clear what is happening here? By observing constant, we can comment the stability. We can comment the stability of the system, right? Are you getting? Is it clear, everyone? For example, if the value of A is some complex number, if A is some complex number, A is some x plus or minus IB, sorry, okay, take it, A is nothing but A1 plus or minus IB1. This is your A. If you substitute this A, e power at is nothing but e power A1 plus or minus IB into t. If you split this, you will get e power A1t into e power IB t, right? So if you observe this, you can write this as cos bt plus I sin bt. So you are getting sinusoidal, you are getting oscillations motions. So if this constant A is complex number, your response will be oscillation. Again, oscillation in these three types, right? Already we discussed. One is constant, it will maintain constant amplitude. Other one is at each interval of time amplitude will half like. So what will happen? If time increases, finally it will comes to original position. And third one is amplitude will increase. So that depends on this A1. If real part of complex number is positive, if real part of complex number is positive, then what will happen? It will, oscillations will increase with respect to time, like this. With respect to time, oscillations will increase. That means if real part A1 is greater than 0, if real part of complex number is less than 0, so we will get this type of response. A1 is less than 0. So like this only. If you put this thing in like that, just if you project these things on this graph, you will get like this. Are you getting, everyone? What about this? Oscillational with constant amplitude. What about this? Here real part of complex number is 0. At that time it will oscillate. Are you following? Yes? Any questions? Same. If you understand this, okay, good. Just again coming to this, forgot about first order. Here order of matrix is A. Previously we are taking some constant A, small a, that order is 1 by 1, okay. So what about here? This is 2 by 2 matrix. In this case, your response theta 1 t is equal to, it will be in this order. This C1, C2, C4, these are constant. These are depends on initial conditions. In previous case we discussed, right? Theta is theta naught at time is equal to 0. Initial conditions. Same here also. These are depends on initial conditions. But if you observe this, these graphs, stability, I mean that stability analysis, is it coming to original position or not? That is depends on constant A, right? Like that, in this case, this stability of the system is depends on eigenvalues of the system. Eigenvalues of this 2 by 2 matrix. Are you getting, everyone? Generally, if you solve this, if you want, just solve this, take some values, G by LS 4, C by MLS some 5. Take this thing and solve it. So definitely it will be in the form of this, like this. The stability is mainly depends on eigenvalues of the system. Okay, eigenvalues. If eigenvalues of the system is negative, then system is stable. If eigenvalues of the system is positive, that system is unstable. That means it will never come to the original equilibrium condition. So definitely, if you take, this is real, this is imaginary, so this part, this side, if your eigenvalues are in this side, negative side, then the system is stable. The eigenvalues are right hand side, that is unstable. Everyone, any questions here? Right? Any questions? Eigenvalues. Okay. Eigenvalues of the system is negative only. Okay, good. If it is negative real roots like -2, -3, then response of the system is exponentially it will decrease. Exponentially it will comes to original position. If it is if it is complex numbers, minus a plus or minus ib, if eigenvalues is like that, minus a plus or minus ib, nothing but a plus or minus ib. If eigenvalues are complex numbers like this, a plus or minus ib, then at that time definitely response is oscillatory, yes, no doubt, but stability depends on real part of the system. If a is negative, a is less than 0, response is like that. If a is positive, then it will move like that. If a is equal to 0, already we discussed, neutral, right? Are you following? So if you want to analyze the stability of any system, then you have to write equations of motions for the system. After writing equations of motions, you have to solve them and you have to bring that thing into state space representation. In that state space representation, if you observe that system matrix, you have to find eigenvalues. Based on eigenvalues, you can comment the stability of the system. So, is it clear, everyone? Yes, eigenvalues, very, very important, right? Like, what about here? Like, if you see, how you will find eigenvalues? A minus lambda I, right? A minus lambda I is equal to 0. So, if you take this thing, minus lambda 1 minus g by L minus c by ml minus lambda, okay, sorry, mod. So, if you solve that, equation, you will get minus lambda into minus c by ml minus lambda plus g by L is equal to 0, right? I am writing directly equation lambda square plus c by ml into lambda plus g by L is equal to 0. This is nothing but your characteristic equation. This is nothing but characteristic equation. Yes, from your vibrations course, if a second order system have damping ratio zeta and natural frequency omega n, the characteristic equation is nothing but lambda square 2 zeta, okay, omega n into lambda plus omega n square is equal to 0, right? You can write like this. You can compare both these things. If you compare omega n square, you are getting g by L. So omega n is nothing but square root of g by L. So already you studied this. Done some experiments also. Natural frequency of simple pendulum depends on length of the, okay, yes, here that length of the string, right, doesn't not depends on mass of the bob. So already you have done so many experiments, right, based on that. Finally you derived that omega n square root of g by L. Same you can compare 2 zeta omega n is equal to c by ml, right? Is it clear, everyone? From where we are deriving all these things? Same thing, same method. So if you, same method, same for aircraft also, you will write equations of motion at particular equilibrium point. From that equations of motions, okay, you will assume, I mean you will linearize the equations of motions. After that, for aircraft, what we are doing, for simplicity purpose, we are dividing aircraft motions into two parts, right? One is longitudinal motions and second one is lateral directional motions. For longitudinal motions, you will write state space representation. For lateral directional motions, You will write states the representation of equations. You will solve those equations. Finally, you will get some system matrix. Okay, same method. Is it clear, everyone? For simple pendulum, we are getting second order equation. Second order. Same. If you take aircraft longitudinal motions, generally you will get fourth order. Yes? That thing we'll discuss in next class. Next class we will discuss those things. Up to here, any doubts? Any questions? Yes? You can find omega n square. Omega n is G by L. So you can compare 2 zeta omega n also. If you compare that, 2 zeta omega n is equal to, will get C by ml. You can compare like that. If you know omega n, natural frequency, from this you can find zeta value. If zeta is less than 1, that is under damped system. Okay, under damped system. Zeta is 1, that is critically damped system. If zeta is greater than 1, that is over damped system. Right? Zeta is less than 1, zeta is equal to 1, zeta is greater than 1. This is under damped, this is critically damped, this is over damped system. Are you following, everyone? Zeta damping ratio. Okay, this will give how the damping is powerful. If zeta is equal to 1, that is exact critical damping. If zeta is less than 1, that is under damped. So it will oscillate and it will come to original position. If zeta is equal to 1, critically damped. Zeta is equal to 1. Zeta is less than 1. If zeta is greater than 1, over damped system. Okay, somewhere. So damping will. So here, because of damping, it doesn't come to original position. Okay. So here, very powerful damping. I mean, over damped system. These are over damped systems, right? So I hope you know these things in your vibrations course. So same logic. We will apply this logic, simple pendulum logic, and this damping ratio and these things. If you know, if you are clear with these concepts, then longitudinal and lateral axial modes are very, very easy. Yesterday I sorted out. So total 16 questions are there. Total 16 questions from longitudinal lateral axial modes. I mean previous gate questions. So we can solve those 16 questions at a time if you know these basics. Is it clear? Okay. Next class we will discuss about longitudinal modes. That is nothing but our Pogoid mode and short period mode. And later we will discuss lateral directional modes, Dutch roll, spiral, roll mode. Okay. Once you discuss theory of those modes, then we can solve the 16 gate previous questions. Okay. Yes, you have total 16 questions from longitudinal and lateral directional modes. We will solve those 16 questions. Is it clear? Okay. We will meet in next class. Okay. Thank you.